Big round of rugby league this weekend. Brett Kimmorley to have a look at the games, which are obviously reduced both in talent and number because of State of Origin, but the Bulldogs take on the Roosters. First up, Bulldogs, no four big players, and the Roosters are missing a couple, but it'll be an interesting game nonetheless.
It'll still be very interesting. Yeah, Bulldogs are the benchmark of the competition, and Des has got an extremely structured football side. So other players will come in and they'll play a similar role, but probably not as good as the big four that are missing for Origin. And I suppose you've got the Roosters players who have to make a little statement, I think, on Friday night that, hey, you've really sent us out to the Wolves and you've taught us a lesson, but you know what? We're going to show you how good we are as a football side. And for that reason, without the halves being at Canterbury, and I think the halves are at the Roosters, I'm going to tip the Roosters to win. Okay, the Titans are in free fall at the moment. The Warriors, brave last week. They don't lose any players ahead of the Origin. Titans lose a few. Yeah, Titans certainly, injuries and Origin will hurt them. They're on the slide. They've started every year leading the competition after 5 or 6 weeks, and they fall and fall. So the Warriors, I think I've seen enough over the last few weeks to say that there's consistency in this football club. They got beat last week, but they were very good and learned lessons out of the defeat. Warriors to win a easy victory. Okay, Tigers take on the Broncos. Again, the Tigers and the Broncos missing quite a few. Yeah, it's at Campbelltown, and they've unveiled some initiatives that they'll actually let the public on the field after the game, which would be nice because they might get. It's been happening in other sports for 100 years. But they haven't got a crowd at Campbelltown all year, so let's hope that they do get a crowd. There'll be no Robbie Farah, but I think for the rest of the Tigers players, they'll roll forward. The Tigers to win. I think Broncos are just depleted by too many players. Okay, who's under more pressure, the Raiders players or the Raiders coach? Oh, I think you put them both level at the moment, but they're 1 out of the last 6 they've won. Yeah. If they can't beat the Cowboys this week, who have no front row, no halfback and no Brent Tate, well, they may as well throw the playbook in the bin and say, pick some new players, because it's their last chance. They are at GIO Stadium in Canberra, so disrupted Cowboys, Raiders to win. Okay, and the Sharks take on the Rabbits at Ramondis to wrap up the weekend. Yeah, Johnny Morris's 300th game, so it'll be a little celebration there on Monday night, but there'll be nothing to celebrate in the way of the victory. I think the Sharks are extremely poor, they're struggling, and the Rabbitohs, they lose GI, but you would think they'll continue to roll forward. And have they been ordinary Souths? They need to respond as well. Got too many big guns, though, the Rabbits. Roosters, Warriors, Tigers, Raiders, and the Rabbitohs are the 5 picks for Noddy for this weekend's round of NRL.